Let's go to Kamal in Brooklyn. Kamal.
Hello.
How are you, Kamal?
I have a question. I'm 37 years old. I'm here in the U.S. for about 2 years. I have a problem now. I'm married to a U.S. citizen. She's a bit older than me.
Is this a bona fide marriage? Did you and her live together?
Yes.
You had a financial relationship. You lived in the same house. Who cares how old who is? You have a 2-year green card.
Yes.
In a few months, you're going to need to remove the conditions. And now she's pulling this power trip on you, saying, I'm not going to do it. What the law says is that if I already have my 2-year green card and I live with this woman and I had a financial relationship with this woman and I'm divorced from her, I don't need her. I get my permanent green card anyway. So what you do is this. She's giving you a hard time. She's pulling a power trip. You're not happy. Life's too short to be unhappy. Start a divorce immediately, and then you file the application to remove the conditions of your permanent residence based on yourself, that it was a bona fide marriage, you lived with her, you are now divorced, you don't need her to sign anything. Get divorced before any sort of annulment, and you get a green card. You want to live there, you can. You want to move out, it's all you, Kamal. It's all you. Let's speak to Shanika. Shanika, how are you? How you doing?
I'm good. My husband and I had an interview 3 months ago, and they said we would get something in the mail, and it's been 3 months.
Wait 120 days before you jump to conclusions.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Emron in Worcester, Massachusetts. Emron, good. What's going on?
Okay, Brad, I'm an international student on F1 visa from Pakistan, and my wife is a U.S. citizen. Can we apply for adjustment of status?
She can file for you.
Secondly, there is a tension currently between U.S. and Pakistan. Will this delay the process?
Between the United States and Pakistan, the reality is, because you're from Pakistan, your case is going to be delayed. Probably 24 months to 30 months over a 12-month for somebody from Norway. File your papers, put in your adjustment of status as quickly as possible, and after 12 months, if you have not gotten scheduled for your interview yet, you always have the right to file a mandamus, and then it'll go much faster. Okay.
Thank you so much, Brad. Thank you, brother.
All right. Let's go to Eddie from New Orleans.
Hello.
How are you? Good. What's going on?
Hey, Brad, let me ask you. I have a friend. He lives in the U.S. since he was 12 years old. He's been here for 20 years now. Last year, I became a citizen, and I wanted him to file so we can do the ceremony at the same day. And he refused to do it. Looks like he never wanted to do it. But now I found out that he has a really bad problem of learning. So he doesn't speak English, although he lives here for 20 years. And so I was reading online, and I saw some videos about a medical waiver. Mm-hmm. Is that possible for him?
Why can't he read?
That he always felt bad about going to school, never learned. He was always staying behind, so he quit school.
All right, so this is the story with a medical waiver. You don't get a medical waiver because you didn't go to school. You don't get a medical waiver because you don't feel like going back to school now to learn to read. You could only get a medical waiver if you're mentally deficient. And they have to do medical tests to make that determination. You just can't go to a doctor and the doctor talks to you and says, yep, this guy can't learn. I'm going to write a letter and get you a waiver. You actually have to do tests, scientifically determined tests to determine that you have a mental deficiency that makes you unable to learn. It costs about $4,000 or $5,000 in medical testing just to get a doctor to say whether or not you would qualify for a waiver. So yes, if there's something mentally deficient with the man, and he's like, then yes, okay. But just because he just chose not to go to school, or his parents didn't send him to school, and now he's 32 years old, and he says, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I don't want to learn. But there's nothing mentally wrong with him. There's no waiver for that. Johnson in Miami, Florida. Johnson.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, mister. I have 3 questions for you. On the 21st, USCIS received request for more evidence on a I-130. How long can I wait before I can follow up on the request for more evidence?
You can follow up every day if you want to, but I don't know where you're at. Is this an I-130 for who's filing for who?
I-130.
Who's filing for who?
For a child under 21.
Are you a resident or a citizen?
Resident.
You'll hear back probably in 3 to 6 months.
So the other question is, if someone file for asylum and then the case is currently pending, if the person married to a U.S. citizen, and then if the U.S. citizen gonna file for that person, do they have to close the asylum case?
You have to close the asylum case, correct.
No, the third question is, my mother filed for my brother I-130. My mother is a U.S. resident. So now my brother is in Haiti. So if my brother moves to Canada, so can the case still move on?
And it's going to be very difficult because your mother's coming to be reunited and joined with a family member who doesn't live in the United States. The reason why your mom gets a green card is to keep families together. So he's defeating the purpose of the law if he's not even in the United States. If your brother lives in Canada and not the United States, your mom doesn't get a green card. That's the answer.
Oh, all right,
Okay?
thank you.
All right. Okay. You got to live in America. You got to be domiciled. There's a legal term called domicile, which is this is your primary residence. Whether you're a U.S. citizen, a resident, whatever, you're domiciled here. Then you can sponsor. If you're not domiciled in America, you can't sponsor. As long as you have the intention of being domiciled. So the brother could be in Canada right now and say, I intend to move back to the United States. That's okay. Mario in Jefferson City, Missouri.
Hi, I'm married to a U.S. resident. I'm an international student. I'm currently in school, and I would like to go ahead with the paperwork and start the process. My I-20 expires in 2023. However, my student visa expires in 2021. If I should go ahead and put the paperwork in now, how long do you think it would take for me to get an approval?
Anywhere from 12 to 24 months to get your green card, but you'll get a travel document and a work permit in about 6 months or so. Once you put the paperwork in, you're no longer on a student visa. You're pending adjustment. You can't travel on that student visa or anything like that.
Oh, I also have a visitor's visa. Would I be able to travel?
No.
Oh, but I wouldn't be able to come back.
No.
Is there any kind of waiver that can allow me to travel back and forth?
It's called advanced parole, that you have to apply for that with the adjustment.
What's it called?
Advanced parole. It's done on an I-131. Davis in New York, New York. Davis, how are you?
Yeah, hello.
Good. What's going on? Okay, what can I do to help you?
So I want to congratulate you for a few minutes. I've been listening. I've been learning a whole lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're doing a good job.
Thank you. All right, so what's your question?
Is it possible that a Christian visitor to the United States apply for a green card?
Can a visitor's visa apply for a green card? If they're sponsored by the right person, yes. There are ways to get a green card if you entered on a visa. You're asking me how do you get a green card? Through family, job sponsorship, employment, investments. There's all sorts of ways. All right, let's go to Kim in Columbia Heights, Washington, D.C.
How long can you stay out of the country if you're a citizen?
Forever.
You don't have to complete any forms, right?
No, just keep renewing your passport. And even if you don't renew your passport, you're still a U.S. citizen. I have a friend who married a Brazilian lady 25 years ago. He's never shown back up to America. He's still an American citizen.
Do you go in for an interview if you're removing the condition on your green card?
Most of the time, yes.
What is the test for citizenship that we hear about?
The test, it's a test on U.S. government, civics, and history. They're going to ask you 10 questions. You got to get 6 right. But those questions come from a booklet. They have probably a list of 400 or 500 questions. You don't know which one you're going to get. Like, for example, what are the colors of the flag? What are the 50 stars being on the flag? Who wrote the Star Spangled Banner? Things like that. Nicola in Cocoa, Florida. Nicola.
Hi. Can a permanent residency file for her son who is over 21 and living in the United States?
Yes, as long as the son is single. Gift in Baltimore, Maryland. Gift.
I have a sister who came in 2015 with a B1, B2 visa, and then she got married to a U.S. citizen in 2017 and filed in that same year around September, and she has not been called. Did not been called for the green card interview.
So she's had a case. She's had a case pending for almost 2 years now. If you're waiting more than 12 months for a pending adjustment of status, and you have not been called for an interview, you have 3 options. Option 1 is do nothing and wait. Option 2 is write the government and say, hi, when am I getting my interview? And you could write immigration, you could write your congressman, you could write your senator. Or 3, you file a mandamus, you sue them and say, you're violating my rights. A visa delayed is a visa denied. Let's go to Jen in Bakersfield, California. Jen.
Hi.
Hi.
I have a question for filing I-30 for adopted child.
Okay. Where is you have an adopted child or you want to adopt a child?
No, we have.
You have?
Yes.
Where is this adopted child?
India.
In India. All right. And how old is this adopted child?
14 years right now.
When did you adopt this child?
She was adopted in 2012. It's been a while.
Okay. And did you ever live in the same house as this child?
When she was born, we were living with her for a year.
You had lived with her for 1 year before you adopted her?
Yeah.
Does it add up that you were physically in the same house for 2 years?
Yeah.
Because what you have to prove is that the adoption happened more than 2 years ago, and that you physically lived in the house with her before or after the adoption. Doesn't matter when. And it doesn't have to be 2 consecutive years. You could be in the aggregate, meaning adding it up. We have to be able to prove that. Immigration looks at this very, very difficultly. They take a very hard look at these cases, and I think you're going to need a lawyer. Thanks for watching. For more Bradshaw Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.